I'm Georgia Newman, and you're listening to a Red Couch Podcast bonus episode. So, Christmas is in 9 days, and I think the best way to really get into the Christmas spirit is by watching some amazing, if not a tad bit cringy Christmas movies. So, throughout this podcast, we will go through some amazing movies to watch leading up to Christmas Day to really get you in the spirit and maybe help pass the time. I know London's been getting some crazy snow, so yeah. First and foremost, I don't think you can have a Christmas list without this one. It's just epic. Grinch Who Stole Christmas. I personally will forever be, the best Grinch movie will forever be the live action one starring Jim Carrey. I mean, I am just a Jim Carrey fan, so maybe that's just a me thing, but he's so expressive. I think he really gives the character emotion, and it just makes it so much more funny when he's like making those faces, and the way he just like moves his body is hilarious. The cartoon version, though, is just as good. Definitely a great watch, especially it doesn't have that, like, dated feel to it, you know? Like, if you're watching Home Alone or one of those older, like, nostalgic films, it kind of has that, it has that sort of low quality to it because it's filmed so far in the past. So the cartoon version is just as good, and I will say it actually has my favorite Christmas song ever on it, which is You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch by Tyler, the Creator. I think he just has a really cool take on it that kind of makes, again, modernizes it, and a lot of Christmas music is very old. So yeah. I mean, I think it's one of the most famous movies, the most famous Christmas movies, and it's just great. I have nothing else to say about it. I feel like you have to rewatch it every year, and it's just a great movie. So following that up with a nostalgic video with, might I say, the worst animation ever, The Polar Express. So an iconic movie, and it's very nostalgic for many people. I watched it every single year in elementary school. I may be dating myself, but that was just, it was Christmas time. You knew what you were watching. You were going to watch The Polar Express at school. In this movie, a kid who is losing his faith in Santa Claus is surprised by a train outside his window on Christmas Eve. After getting on the train, he embarks on a crazy adventure to the North Pole. To be honest, I haven't watched it in a while and I feel like it'll be a good rewatch because I haven't watched it in so long. I mean, it's a Christmas classic, and I think it does deserve a replay every Christmas. It's like a cute little, got to keep your faith going about the Christmas. Anyways, the next one. So the next one I want to talk about is The Holiday. This one is up there on my favorites just because of the fact that it's a rom-com, and I do like when they add that little bit of romance in. I love that. So there's still amazing comedy actors like Jack Black, Kate Winslet, Jude Law, and Cameron Diaz. Like, that is a action-packed or a star-studded cast. The two women do a house exchange, and while they're on vacation, they end up having some meet-cutes that may or may not lead to more, which again is the romance aspect that I was saying earlier. It's just a really cute, feel-good movie, and I think it's great to cozy up to. I mean, again, I feel like the Christmas aspect isn't blaringly loud in this movie. It's not something where, like, the entire movie is Christmas, where you do definitely see with The Grinch and with Polar Express, but it does have that cozy feel to it, where you just want to be wrapped up in a blanket with some hot chocolate and just chilling by the fire. So the next one, The Nightmare Before Christmas. This movie has a cult-like following and is super controversial, whether it's actually a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie. I put it in here as a Christmas movie because it's like, just like, it is Christmassy with a little spook to it. They freaking want to kidnap Santa Claus. Shh. Might have been a spoiler. Okay, anyways. So it is just, a fun way to tie in some spooky vibes with Christmas. I mean, it definitely helps that the soundtrack is amazing. They did that. They ate that up. But yeah, in this movie, Jack Skellington gets bored of always celebrating Halloween and takes a swing at Christmas. This movie is definitely on the fence of Halloween and Christmas, but is perfect if you do like Tim Burton and a little bit of spooky. I watched it for Halloween, and I do plan on rewatching it closer to Christmas. And I like it. I think it's just a cute little way to make it spooky. I don't know. Why him? This movie, I have to say, might top the list for me. I've already watched this movie like 5 times this Christmas season alone, and it never disappoints. I love the actors. I love the writing. I just think it's a great Christmas movie all around. Zooey Deutch, which I have to say is one of my favorite actresses. So again, I may be partial, but she does the Set It Up with Glenn Powell. She's in Everybody Wants Some, which also has Glenn Powell in it, but it's another amazing movie that I rewatch at least once a year. But she plays a college student who invites her family down to California from Michigan to meet her quote unquote boyfriend, James Franco. I don't know why I said that. It's her boyfriend, James Franco. The dad is in fact not a fan of the boyfriend, and they end up almost competing for Zoe, and just like they have very different views on stuff. It is a freaking hilarious movie. Nothing I could say will bring the movie justice. It's just hilarious from start to end, and it also is a feel-good, happy movie that is still nice to watch with the family. And even though there are it's romance in it, I think the main point of this movie is finding yourself and focusing on those family bonds. And I think it is a really good job of, again, not making the movie about Christmas, but more of just family. And I think that's what Christmas really should be about, is not what's under the Christmas tree, but who you're spending your time with and whatnot. All right, next one. Four Christmases. This movie is, again, quite nostalgic. It is an older movie with Reese Witherspoon, and I forget the dude's name, but I remember watching this movie as a kid, and I thought it was hilarious. I just rewatched it last night, and I have to say it still meets all the criteria I'm looking for in a Christmas film. It's funny, it's cute, and it's just a great feel-good movie. So a couple who have been together for 3 years and spend every Christmas together on a fancy vacation rather than seeing their family get held up when their flight is canceled due to fog. So they are on the news, and their family sees them on the news and basically says, "Hey girls, let's all fit all of our Christmases." And they both come from divorced parents. So there's 4 Christmases that they have to do in one day before they're set to leave. The funniest part of this, I have a very weird sense of humor, I will say that, but there's a baby that pukes, and the dude that plays the boyfriend gags very loud and a lot, and it's like that, I think, takes the cake for me. That's the funniest part of the entire movie. It's so good. And again, I really like the meaning behind this movie. I think they're kind of set in their way of doing things that make them happy, and they think they're happy. And then throughout these 4 Christmases, they realize that they are missing their family. They are missing aspects of their life that they may not have been putting a lot of priority in. So I think it's, again, just a great Christmas movie that isn't so much about Christmas and is just more about your family, which I don't know if you can tell, I quite enjoy. Next one. Okay. So this one is a new drop. This is a 2024 movie. There's a magic scarf. There's Miss Gretchen Wiener from Mean Girls, Boyle, and Doug Judy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I mean, again, pretty A-list, not A-list, maybe B-list cast. Very Hallmarky. Without further ado, the next movie is Hot Frosty. I mean, I couldn't make a Christmas movie list without talking about this. It's just recently dropped on Netflix, and since it's dropped, it's garnered a lot of views, but also a ton of opinions. I mean, I think the whole idea of the movie, you lose me. Like, I watched it, and it was cute, it was funny. We'll talk about the plot a little bit in a minute, but I want to be in the writer's room. I want to be there when the guy walked in, or the woman walked in, the person walked in and said, "Let's make a movie about a snowman that becomes a man, but let's make him hot." I mean, I know that I think it's called Jack Frost or something like that, where there is a movie where the snowman becomes a man, or vice versa. I'm not sure. Again, I just think I just would have liked to be there where they were fleshing this idea out and making it into a real movie. I just think it had to have been funny. So in this movie, Miss Gretchen Wiener finds herself with a special scarf, a magic scarf, which she just so happens to place on the neck of a very hot looking snowman. And the scarf turns the little snowman into a real man. Yeah, that's the plot. That's that. Don't know how and he's stupid because he's a snowman, so he was like basically born the day before, so he's like really dumb. And I think the actor, I don't know his name, but I know he plays if you watched Schitt's Creek, he's Alexis's husband in Schitt's Creek. And yeah, I mean, I think he does a really good job of playing like kind of stupid. Anyways, the movie starts off kind of funny because she sits there And she like sees this snowman, and she's just looking at him, taking a picture of this hot snowman. She goes, ooh, like he's hot. I'm like, that's kind of weird to say to like an inanimate snowman, but whatever. Her husband has passed away, so there's some sadness, there's some struggling, but obviously love prevails. And it was just a fun, easy watch that put a little smile on my face. Super cringy though. I can't say that enough. It was very cringy. It held my attention. It was a great movie, but it was just very cringy. Yeah, another one, it's not on my list, but another one that dropped this year was Lindsay Lohan's Our Little Secret. So the Mean Girls are back for some Christmas debauchery. The girls are back for some tomfoolery this year. In that one, she and, I don't know his name, I'm so sorry, but Ezra from Pretty Little Liars. They dated when they were younger and then split up, and then they both have new girlfriend, boyfriend. And on Christmas, they go to, like, they haven't spoken to each other. Anyways, it ends up that they're dating siblings. So when they go to Christmas, it's like they see each other for the first time in many years, and it's just super awkward. It did have me laughing. There were there were funny parts to it. I mean, I think movies like this are very cringy, and I think if that's something you like, then these movies are for you. Yeah. Another one, oh, sorry, this is totally off topic, but we actually just watched this one today, A Bad Mom's Christmas. And I didn't put this on the list because I completely forgot about it as a movie. I didn't even remember that it was a movie, to be honest, because The Bad Moms is iconic. I feel like you can't ever outdo The Bad Moms. But yeah, so Bad Mom Christmas is a sequel to The Bad Moms. If you haven't watched Bad Moms, I mean, you what are you doing? Get on it. Mila Kunis, Kristen Bell, and I forget the other girl, but they just create this bond in the first movie that continues into the second movie, and their moms come into the picture, and it's just like kind of like a Christmas from hell, to be honest. It looks like it sucks, and all of their parents are focused on other things than family, and by the end of it, they're all obviously happy and a happy family again, which is what I look for in a Christmas film. So, I mean, I quite enjoyed it. I think it's really funny. I do think it's PG-13. There's a character, Ty Swindell, not as PG-13y there, but the entire movie is just laugh out loud hilarious. I cannot say enough good things. It's just one of those, like, oh, I don't know how to say it, but it's like, I don't know. It's just one of the, it's a really good movie, and if you haven't watched it, you should watch it. Okay. Back to my actual list. I'm so sorry I got sidetracked there. The last movie on the list here is The Night Before. This movie is rated R. All the other ones are PG-13 or TVMA. So I was like, hey, the ninth day is Christmas, right? So we need to hit it with a bang. So I think it's a great way to end your movie marathon. Seth Rogen and his trio of friends from either elementary school or high school, I'm not 100% sure, they're doing one last crazy Christmas before Seth becomes a dad, and they all just kind of have to become adults. So Seth can never do wrong, and his movie is definitely this movie is one of my favorites. The entire cast just execute the movie so well, and they just seem to click so well. The entire movie is hilarious, and I think it addresses a lot of things normal people experience in their life without being cringy or self-helpy, which is a huge turnoff for me when I'm watching movies. Like, I hate when it gets self-helpy. They address the problems in the movie in a way that's just funny and relatable. So at one point, Seth is very nervous about becoming a father, and he kind of has like a freak out, and they address it in a way that's like relatable, you know, because a lot of new first-time parents almost all of them are terrified. I was talking to my mom the other day, and she said that she wouldn't change me or bathe me because she was convinced she'd kill me, like just on accident. You know what I mean? That's probably came out wrong, but you know what I mean? Like, she was worried that she was going to hurt me, and a lot of parents have that fear of this, like, you have this breakable child. So he's just having this whole freak out, and the way they discuss it and the way they approach the situation is very relatable to a lot of parents. And there's a lot of situations like that throughout the entire movie, throughout the entire film, that kind of have that vibe to it. So definitely, I think it's a great way to end the movie marathon. And yeah, I don't know. These are my picks. I think they're great. I mean, if you have your favorite movie, leave it in the comments below. I'd love to expand my knowledge on Christmas films. I mean, I think you can watch a Christmas film all the time. Anyways, that about wraps it up here for me. No pun intended. I'm Georgia Newman, and thank you so much for listening to the Christmas bonus episode of the Red Couch Podcast. Be sure to check out our website and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And thanks again for listening. From all of us here at the Interrobang, have a happy holidays.